I listened to one of Donna Seraphina's videos. It was 57 minutes long initially, and I put it on double speed, and I did let the ads run because she does do a lot of work. She has offered to do readings for free for the families. So I listened because I thought, well, I better have a listen, see what everyone's talking about, because I was going to be challenging Donna to hand over her electronics and just let us see her search history. Donna has got this covered. I mean, talk about seeing into the future. So every fifth sentence is, after she saw something and thought something, or, something was murky, or there were colours, or there was this or that, she thought, oh, I'd better look it up. So I went on Google. I did that. She's only got the internet. She's got the internet. She doesn't have TV, just like me. So every 5 seconds she's saying, so after I saw that, I looked it up. I wanted to know, I looked it up. Or she'll say, yeah, so I did a Google search. Because the next day, so this 57 minute video was something that she'd taken all these readings that she'd done, and she said, look, I won't put you through listening to all of those and on the dates that I actually did them, because it'd be hard for you to understand, and the way I talk, and I've got to interpret the things here for you, because it is a bit messy, and how things come through, it's a bit messy. But so this is what I've heard, and so she'll be saying about the lake, 20 foot from the lake, 20 in from the riverbank edge. Well, number 20 for sure. And the cabin and the mountains and the distance and the river and the lake and the boulder on the right, and everything. And then, so she thought to look it up on Google. So that's the search engine covered. So, oh well. But what we've got to remember is, people hurt, people are grieving. And the expression hurt people. Well, hurt people. Yes, people that have been hurt others. They don't really quite understand how they're doing it, because all they're doing is promoting themselves, and they think this is some sort of honest, gentle, painless transaction. We're not hurting anyone. It's kind of like prostitution, as long as it's not trafficking, etc. If someone is willing to pay for or buy, either mentally or with money, buy what you're selling, fine, that's an honest transaction. But the trouble is, what happens, it's all this repeating, the Chinese whispers, so-called, just the way shit flies around, and people don't realize that they're not actually looking at things that really happened, or they're not looking at truth. They're not looking at the way, the truth, the life, are they, Donna Seraphina? Now, Donna Seraphina likes to, if you ask Donna, do you believe in God? She will actually not say she believes in God. She will start off by saying, I'm ordained psychic reverend. So she's a spiritual reverend, psychic reverend. She's not a reverend. She's a psychic reverend of a spiritualist church, and she will give you the longest, oh God, you wouldn't even read it, would you? It's a cut and paste job that's probably about 100 paragraphs long. I couldn't get through it. I just glanced at it, but I'm a good speed reader, and she doesn't actually just say in the affirmative, yes, I believe in God. Maybe Donna Seraphina lost her faith when she lost her daughter. She's grieving. And now she's harming others. Not everyone is doing things where they're harming or setting out to harm, but I really have a special little place in the dark for people like Donna Seraphina, okay? And people need to learn to be more discerning. So, I mean, there's hysteria around her, hysteric groupies. And, not to say that some of these women, mostly women, aren't they, aren't lovely people or clever maybe, but they're not looking at things the right way. No, yes, for those of you can say, yes, well, this is 30 minutes that you'll never get back. This is 30 minutes of junk, or however long my video is. Well, don't listen. I'm not going out there like Donna Seraphina, am I, inserting myself into places and spreading lies? Who out there still believes that law enforcement worked with Donna Seraphina? Yeah? So, Donna Seraphina will say she has seen the manner of death. Laurie killed both children, but then she says later that she's not sure that JJ's passed. So on one hand, she's saying that, Charles has told her that Laurie killed both children, then she doesn't know that JJ's passed, maybe because she's not getting a direct contact with him. She's saying she has seen the deaths, but it's too horrific to live through. Well, it would be horrific, wouldn't it? But, then she'll say in another breath, well, she's not going to say anything because the bodies aren't found and yada, yada, yada. And there's all this thing about there's some laneway that's nearby. Why wouldn't someone just give you the damn address, Donna? Why is it some lane? You keep getting this name, some lane. It's a lane. It's a lane near the house. If you're having the visions but you won't talk specifically, you just don't have the conviction in what you're saying, you're a manipulator. You see, what people don't realize is it's an art form. It's an art form, what people like Donna do. And you might think she's all nice and benign or helpful or whatever, but she's a vampire. And buyer beware. Yeah, so obviously this is, real mess of an interview, mess of a video. I'm sorry. Just really wanted to spill my thoughts out about it. There's a lot I could say, but I think you pretty much know how I feel. As I've said before, I don't want to take mystery out of life and everything because the universe and energy, what energy is, what quantum physics and the history of the universe. It is fascinating, and we don't understand nearly enough. But it doesn't mean that you should let people like Donna into your life, that you should give them such a platform, because they are vampires, they're dangerous, and she is serving herself. Donna Seraphina serves no one but herself, and it is disgusting. Yeah, really listen to what she says. Really listen and piece it together, and you will see what she's doing. She's a fucking pro.